Team Lakai is riding a 15-fight win streak, Peter. Do you think that's got to be in his head?
You know, that's a big pile of pressure right there. Yeah, if you're running off a team 15-fight win streak, you do not want to be the one to lose. You might be the person having yourself Shark Tanked on Monday morning in the mixed martial arts class. I don't think you'd like to do that. That's not a good thing. So that's definitely weighing heavy on him. He's got the whole team behind him. There are a whole bunch of them. I think there are 20+ people from Team Lakai here in the arena tonight.
Now, shark tanking is not being thrown into a tank with great whites. It's actually a practice where you go one after the other and you're with your training partners consistently facing a fresh guy, and it is a horrible place to be in. But I don't think Team Lakai would do that to their boy Kevin Boy.
Well, I'm not sure. Let's see what happens.
But maybe that's how they won 15 in a row. I don't know.
That is. Maybe that Shark Tank is a very popular thing on a Monday morning. Muin Kevin shooting in for a takedown, being stuffed by Kevin Bellingon there. And Kevin Bellingon still working those inside leg kicks, throwing that jumping in left hook jab. And, you know, spinning back in hands.
Beautiful.
Striking. Definitely going to Kevin Bellingon in this round.
He's setting it up so well by throwing the inside leg kick, and then as he steps forward, he disguises it well as he's able to spin around. Muin Kevin could learn a thing or two about setting up that spin kick from Kevin. Oh,
that was a knockdown, but I think he just caught the leg and picked it up, and Kevin just rushed a bit there, and it looked like he had fallen over trying to do an armbar attempt here. He's in the wrong position completely. But it's the end of the first round. The feeling out process should have ended by now. They're going to start throwing their hands a lot more often. Muin Kevin throwing in some strong strikes from his hands early on. Let's see if Kevin Bellingon replies with those nasty little inside leg kicks.
Now they understand the distance. Now they understand the timing. Do you think they're going to shift it into a different gear and start to put a little bit of pressure on each other?
They're going to go second gear, third gear. They're going to push the pace. They're going to start throwing out more strikes more consistently and in higher ratios. So it's, you know, this is the fight, the round of the fight to watch out for some explosive action. I think they're getting closer. They're closing the distance every single half second, and you know, Olivier's calling for action and they really want to go for it, but there's something just physically and mentally blocking them, I think.
And, you know, you can get a little bit gun shy. You can get that anticipation where you get almost paralyzed by over-analysis, and you just can't quite pull the trigger. But, I mean, you can see it from the race car driver, Peter Davis, telling him it's time to shift gears and get this thing going.
Indeed. Oh, here we go. As soon as they close that distance, sparks fly. It's fantastic. But right now, they're a bit too... They have a lot of respect for each other's striking. And I just think that neither of them wants to eat a punch from the other one. Just now, there was a big exchange, hands flying. I think Kevin Bellingon again throwing more strikes out, and he's testing the water again. Muin Kevin throwing a left, getting countered by Kevin Bellingon's left hook. And inside leg kick again from Kevin Bellingon.
That seems to be the most significant strike of this fight, is that inside leg kick thrown by Kevin. It seems to be landing very effectively, and there's the outside leg kick again. So that has to be slowing down Kevin.
I mean, like I said earlier, we probably can't see the welts right now, but Muin Kevin probably has a pretty red leg underneath those shorts. Kevin Bellingon trying some new stuff. He's trying to distract his opponent and, you know, get him on a different path. Try something new in order to be able to strike somewhere that he wants to. So he's trying to get the eyes up and strike down low.
It's working.
It is working. He's being twitchy. He's doing more of those inside leg kicks. Bellingon is by far and away ahead on strikes and damage in this fight so far. These guys are shying away from punching. As I say that, Muin Kevin goes in for a takedown. He just ducks in, but Kevin Bellingon has double underhooks against the cage, throws that punch and a nasty elbow on the way out, and they're back in the center of the cage. I think this is going to be that outside leg kick, solid, sounded solid too. Head kick just misses. Kevin Bellingon is doing a lot of the work in this fight.
Do you think Gafurov needs to change up his game plan? Is he getting locked into a specific game plan and not able to adapt?
He's stuck on his tracks, and you know it's the same thing. Like if you say a name 1,000 times, you try and say it that 1,001th time differently, you just can't. He is stuck in his tracks. He's got the same game plan. He hasn't been able to shift up his game plan at all during this round. And Kevin Bellingon is at least trying different things, trying to break down the distance by, you know, throwing distractions out. And I definitely have this fight going to Bellingon with the striking right now and damage.
This is a massive event, and Olivier wants a little bit more from both these fighters, but it's easier said than done. Like you were saying, Peter, it's tough to change things up and start to pull it off because this is the biggest event in all of Myanmar's history in combat sports.
The crowd is going wild. They want to see some action here. I mean, here we go. Just every time I say that, a big head kick there from Kevin Bellingon. Muin Gafurov shooting in for a takedown, getting stopped and outstruck. Left hooks flying in left and right. Okay, underhook on the left arm of Kevin Bellingon. But someone's received a cut. No.
Bellingon lost his mouthpiece.
Oh, he lost his mouthpiece. Sorry, I was too excited about the punches there to notice that.
We got 25 seconds left in this second round, but when there is action, wow, is it fast?
It is crazy action. Rolling in for a takedown there.
That's it. That's what Gafurov needed to do. Change things up, and now he scores with a takedown. Now he's in side control, but a little too late as he passes into mount. Full mount now. He's got less than 5 seconds to go as he starts to drop bombs on Kevin. Oh, saved by the bell.
Every round, this will happen. And, you know, they warm up as the round goes on. Maybe that's what's happening with these two fighters. And as a fighter, every single fighter you face, you have a different strategy or a different feel. If you're up against a Muay Thai guy, they may be pushing forwards all the time, causing you, if you're a counter striker, to react and to strike back. But these two are both standing off. Maybe they're both counter strikers, but neither of them are pushing forwards enough to spark the other one's interest.
But with the ease that Gafurov was able to take Bellingon down, pass his guard, and end up in mount, you think that would be the first thing on his mind as we just lost 60 seconds of round 3.
Indeed, you know, he needs to do the same thing again. If he could just start walking forward, push the fight to the cage and get a takedown against the cage, that would be fantastic, but he appears to want to strike in the center of the cage, and that's where Kevin Bellingon is having a lot of success in this fight.
Yeah, I spoke to Muin Gafurov's coaches, and he says he just doesn't follow the game plan because he gets so one-tracked into his focus, and he just wants to stand and bang with people, and he loses sight of the overall strategy, and that looks to be what's happening now, because if he could slide in for another one of these takedowns, he could end the fight here quickly, but he's choosing to go at Kevin's strength, which is the stand-up.
I know, and you know, that's not what he wants to do. He has to set up and go in for a takedown. The crowd here is reacting to these two fighters standing in the middle of the cage, not throwing any strikes out. Kevin Bellingon trying to get that inside leg kick again. I mean, you know, we want to see more action from this for sure, but I mean, Kevin Bellingon, it looks like he's doing damage to that left leg of Tajik.
Yeah, this crowd is, look at this, sold out to Stadium. It is absolutely packed here in Myanmar, and they are just on the edge of their seat. Beautiful inside leg kick. That has been, got to be like the 15th time he's landed that shot, Peter.
It must be at least. Kevin Bellingon is getting rushed. It looks like he's going for a Darce choke. He's not got quite enough of his arm in there. Kevin Bellingon throwing strikes, elbowing out of that clinch position there. And they're back in the center of the cage, throwing the inside leg again. Muin Gafurov has to go in and shoot for a takedown. He has to set that up and do that. You know, he's really, really got to change things up if he wants to win this fight. He only has just over 2 minutes to do that. And if he doesn't, I believe he might have lost this fight.
His coaches are just screaming at him to shoot him for the takedown and push forward, but it's almost like he's got tunnel vision and he wants to stand and strike. And Kevin Bellingon is following the strategy perfectly.
He is indeed, and maybe Muin Gafurov is, you know, he's just. He's a little bit scared to go in. He's felt a bit of the leather already. He knows that inside leg kick is causing damage. Muin is having a little bit of trouble moving forwards. And you know, you see he went in for the takedown, but he ducked from a very far distance. He didn't change level. Maybe his leg hurts too much to be able to do that. And then shoot in. And then Kevin Bellingham again gets his head on the back of the chest, and that's what we've seen several times.
Good defense by Kevin Bellingham. Now we're starting to see why Team Lakai is on a massive 15-fight win streak. It is just so impressive the way that they formulate their strategy. We got 1 minute left, Peter, but as you well know, 1 minute in the one championship cage is a long time.
It is a huge amount of time. It is an absolute eternity. I think, however, unless Muin Gafurov gets a knockout or a flash submission, if he can do the same takedown he just did, get Kevin Bellingham's head under his chest, maybe he can go for like a double-handed, like sort of a guillotine. If he could just do that same thing again, if maybe he has that move in his artillery, it would be fantastic. But otherwise, Kevin Bellingham is going to increase Team Lakai's win streak by 1.
The crowd is igniting on fire here. They are cheering to see more action from these two explosive bantamweights, and they look just as fresh as they did in the final minute as they do in the first.
Hey, they do indeed. Kevin Bellingham just shying away from a spinning back fist there. That inside leg kick, body shots, oh my goodness, you can still hear it from here. It's not like these two are not working hard, but there is the end.
Kevin